So when he hit me, I fell onto the bed and I was holding my face. And when I opened my eyes, like there was a puddle of blood all over the bed and all over my hands.
Peter Pan, that's what they call me. Promise that you never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me. Promise that.
My melanin is popping. Oh, my melanin is popping. Hey, what's good? It's your girl, Miss Melanin Built, back with another video. I know I have the same clothes on as the last video, but that's only because I just did that video a few minutes ago. But I'm up. I'm feeling good tonight, so I want to come back to y'all and gift y'all with a story time. So that's what I'm going to do. Before we get into this story time, though, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and stay tuned for what I'm going to give you. All right, so my story time today is going to be the story of me telling you when I caught my baby daddy with another girl and they had my baby in the bed with them. Mind you, this is my last child, my son. He was only 2 years old at the time, had just turned 2 at the time, and me and his dad was still like going back and forth whether we were going to be together or not. And yeah, let me just get into the story. All right, so me and my son's father had been together for a while. I mean, like a long while. While we were together when my second daughter was, I think we started talking and being friends when my second daughter was like 3 or 4 months old. The only reason why I started talking to him in the first place is because my daughter, when he first met my daughter, she didn't like deal with any kind of dudes other than like my dad. She would not go to no guys at all. And when she seen him, he asked if he could pick her up. I said yeah, because she had just woke up and she was kind of fussing. He picked her up, and the first thing she did was stare him dead in his eyes. I mean, like, who are you? I see you. Why are you here? Like everything, this is all she's saying with her eyes, right? Now my baby, mind you, pretty brown chocolate eyes that'll just melt your soul, right? So you can imagine the way she was looking at him. Anyway, he picks her up and she stares him down for like 5 minutes, and then she takes his face like this and just kisses his nose. And when I tell you that melted my heart to see my daughter do that, mind you, she didn't go to no men at all. If you were a guy, you could not touch her. And for her to just connect with him on that level like that, boy, I fell in love, just head over heels. And you know, that's just the way it was. And he was so good to my daughters. Like when he took my daughters around his family, they were just so accepting of me and my daughters, and we just instantly all just became family, and everything was just good. By the way, he was my friend's brother. That's how I knew him. So I had already knew his family, but not so much like how we ended up knowing each other, you know? Anyway, so here it is, years later. You know, my daughters are, at the time, when we met, my daughters were 1 and like 3 months, okay? Yeah, I know there's stair steps, but we already established that in the other videos. Anyway, so here it is. Fast forward all this time. You know, we didn't move to Vegas and back to LA, and I didn't have my son now. Now, my son is 2 years old, okay? He had just turned 2. And, you know, we just kept getting into it a lot, and the way he was with my daughters, like so loving and caring and just, I gotta do for them, I gotta do for them, I gotta do for them. I felt like he just wasn't really like that when my son finally came along. You know what I mean? So I had an issue with that, you know? Like, you treated my girls like royalty, like, you know, like they were your kids. But now that we have this boy, like, I don't feel like you are giving him the equalness that, is that a word? You're not being equal with him the way you did the girls. So, okay. So we're going back and forth or whatever. And at this very moment, we were together, but we kind of were like just not living together at the moment, but we were still kind of together, or I don't really know how to say it. Anyway, he asked me if he could get my son. So I'm like, okay, I don't see why not. That's your son. Go ahead. He asked me if he can get my son and spend the night. No, if he can get his son for a few hours while I go to work. Okay, fine, no problem. I dropped my son off to him at his mother's house. Okay. He calls me a few hours later, like, oh, he still wants to spend time with him. Is it okay if he spends the night? I'm like, okay, well, fine. Where are you spending the night at? Because I need to at least know where my child is at all times. So he's like, okay, I'm at my sister's house. She stays over off Western. Okay, that's fine. He like, can you just pick him up in the morning? Okay, I'll pick him up before I got to go to work. No problem. Boom. So later on that night, I, go to call my baby to make, just talk to him. He's 2, so it's not like he's just full on just, hey, mom, where are you? Whatever. Where's his baby? So I talk to my baby, tell him good night, tell him I'm going to come get him in the morning. Okay. So the morning time comes, and I already don't want my baby with you, but I just had this feeling. Like, I can't really describe the feeling that I was having. I was just like, okay, it's early in the morning. Let me go get my baby. Like, as soon as that sun popped up, I was in that car on my way over there. So I get to his sister's house. I didn't call first. Like, I'm going to get my baby. I wasn't, I just was going to get my baby. So I get to his sister's house, right? I get upstairs and I knock on her apartment door, and she's like, I'm going to have him bring him down to you. Like, why are you tripping? Just open the door. She's like, okay, look, before I open this door, I don't want you tripping in my house. So right there, my antennas instantly just bing, straight up. Okay, what do you mean you don't want no trouble? Because if you're saying that, obviously that means it's something going on, right? Okay, so she opens the door and just thinking about it all over again, I swear I just want to punch both of them all over again. Now, if anybody that knows me, I don't know who exactly is watching right now, but anybody that knows me know that my early 20s and teens, I was crazy. I need you to understand that. I will fight you. Let me tell you, I will go off. I went from 0 to 100 real quick. But as I got older, as my children are getting older, I find myself to be more wise and to stop and think before I react, and the normal things people are supposed to go through as you're getting older. So now I'm very mellow, I'm very wise. I think before I react, and I pray on it and try to give it to God before I gotta go to 100. Before I gotta go to 100, okay? But back then, no, that's not really how it went. So his sister opens the door, and the first thing I see is my son's father, my son, and then who throws back the cover? His little girlfriend. I wouldn't say little girlfriend, because that woman was not little. First thing that came to my mind was rush him. This nigga got my baby in the middle of him and his bitch. Rush him. Rush both of them right now. So by this time, my heart is beating so hard. I swear you can see it like pumping out of my shirt. Like you could have seen it. I was so hot. So I'm like, really? I'm like, we're going to use this nickname. I'm like, for real, Dizzy? Like, really? That's how you get at me? First off, you up here laid up with this chick and my baby is right here? You told me you were spending time with my son, and you laid up with your chick over here playing house with my son? Okay, I ain't that grown yet. So I'm like, all right, I tell you what. I said, let me get my baby. I walked in, grabbed my baby, grabbed his stuff, and went to the car. On the way to the car, I stopped. Well, before we even walked out the house, I'm like, okay, you want to play? I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get with you. So the first thing I did was step outside the door. I waited for a minute. I called the police. Okay, I know I was wrong for doing that. I shouldn't have did that. That had nothing to do with anything, but I did. Okay, so I called the police and I start screaming into the phone. Ah, help me! Don't do it! No, please, my baby! I got my baby in my hand! please don't do it. Ah! And I hang the phone up, right? I remember this like it was yesterday. So I hang the phone up, and before I get to the bottom of the stairs, they're calling back. And I answer, and I'm saying his name. You know, so-and-so, please don't do this. You got a warrant. You don't want to go to jail for killing your baby mama. Please don't do this. I love you. I'm sorry. Please, I'm sorry. Click. I hang up on the police. I run to my car. I strap my baby in the car. I give my baby a bottle and a couple of toys. And I know I probably seem like the worst mother in the world, and you guys are probably going to bash me for this. I already know I'm going to hear it. But again, let me remind you that this was years ago. I was still young in the head. I know. I'm admitting to it right now. I was young in the head. My baby was 2 years old. I was still in my early 20s. I was dumb, super dumb. Anyway, so I put my baby in the car. And right downstairs in front of the building, I did roll down the window, so I don't want you to think I just left my baby in this car. First off, it's the morning time, so it's still cold. But I did roll down the windows, and I parked directly in the driveway of his sister's apartment building. Okay, so I felt like I'm about to make this nigga go back to jail, you know, for what he just did. Like, you know, I was being vindictive. Is that the word? Did I say it right? I wanted to get some revenge on him because I was so mad. Like, we're trying to work out what it is that we're actually going to do. Are we going to sit here and work this out as a family? We going to let it go or what? You got me in a limbo, but yet you laid up with my baby. And I couldn't deal with that. Like, my young mind could not process that right then, okay? Mind you, he already know everything that I've been through with my daughter's father. You know, when I was with their father, just the abuse, emotionally, physically, spiritually, just tried to just damage me, like, altogether. And for him to do this, like, nah, I had to get back at him. So I go back upstairs, and I'm telling you, you're gonna want to finish this. I'm gonna tell you about where's that? About Lisa that? I'm gonna tell you about that, okay? So I go back upstairs, and same thing. The police is calling back, and I'm screaming into the phone, I can't breathe. Help me. And hang up the phone. So by now, I can hear them. So I go back upstairs, and his sister is like, you're not about to do this in my house. You're not about to do this. And I'm like, let me just talk to him. I just want to talk to him. That's all I want to do is just talk to him. So mind you, the girl had already been calling my phone. And I should have, all this I should have been aware of, okay? But the girl had already been calling my phone, talking big mess, like, when I see you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Big gangbanger type chick. I forgot where she was from, but I mean, tattoos all over her face, all on her neck, all on her eye, under her, all over her face, all up and down her arms and everything. Like, super tatted out gangbanger chick. Mind you, I am like 5'5", okay? I'm a fat chick. I am. I'm big, but I'm short. You know what I mean? Chick was like a good 6'2" and thick, like super thick. Like, we would have had to throw some bros. But so I go back in, and she just immediately say, Precious, I don't have time for your shit. And she go in the bathroom and lock the door. That's how a firecracker I was being. She went in that bathroom and closed that door and did not come out the rest of the time at all. So my baby daddy goes in his sister's room, and I follow in behind him. Her husband comes out the room, and they're in the living room. So we're in there talking, and this fool, he said something to me, and I smacked the hell out of him. Boom, shut your ass up. Don't talk to me like that. Whatever. We going down, we going at it, right? So because I didn't slap him, this fool picks me up. Mind you, I'm a big chick, but my baby daddy, like, super slim and small, but he's super strong. So he used to pick me up all the time, right? This fool picks me up, and he's hanging me out the window. Mind you, they're on the second floor. So my big ass is hanging out the window, trying not to fall out the window. It's funny now because it's been time, for me to get over it or whatever. It wasn't funny then, though. Dude was really trying to kill me. So when he puts me down, I slapped the hell out of him. No, I socked him in his face. And I had a taser. And the taser was one of those knuckle tasers that you hold like this. So when you connect, you would tase the person when you connect. So after I socked him in the face, I started tasing him. Boom, boom. Like every time I'm hitting him, I'm tasing him. And I guess once he felt what it was, he socked me in my eye. Now, mind you, we had been together for like 6 years. He had never put his hands on me up until this day. And I understand you can't expect to hit somebody and not expect to get hit back. But I did. I tased him and socked him, and he busted my eye. So let's see. That's what this is right here. He split my shit open good. I'm not gonna even lie. He split me good. And so when he hit me, I fell onto the bed and I was holding my face. And when I opened my eyes, like there was a puddle of blood all over the bed and all over my hands. And that's when his sister's husband came in there and grabbed me and kicked me out the house. He was a big dude too. He picked me up, literally off my feet, picked me up, threw me off outside, and that's when I ran downstairs. You can really hear the police like coming in, like you can hear them tough. So I run around the corner, like their house was like, it's like their apartment, like a little store like or something, and on the corner. So I run around the corner and I hide the taser in the bushes, and I run back to my car. By this time, him and his girlfriend has jumped in her car and they're trying to come out the driveway. But mind you, before I went back upstairs, I blocked the driveway with my car because I knew the first thing that they were going to do was try to come out the driveway. So they come out, they're coming towards the car, and she like, you better move, B. You better move, B. You better move, B. And I'm like, nope, y'all can wait till the police get here. Y'all can wait. Y'all can wait. So she like, I ain't got time for this. So she bags up and go back and park. And they both are coming out the front of the building. By this time, oh my God, the fire department was there. The ambulance was there. Like some people who looked like SWAT, because they didn't have on regular police uniform. They had like these all black uniforms on. They came in a big black truck and they had like helmets and stuff on. And it wasn't like the regular police. But then also the regular police was there too though. And when I tell you, the whole building was surrounded. They had helicopters out. The building was surrounded, and it was just crazy. So I'm standing in front of my car. He's coming out of the building, and the police is rushing me, like literally tackling me. And I'm just like, he's right there. He's right there. Get him. He's right there. Clearly you see it's him. Dude is covered in my blood from my eye. Because my eye, it ended up being a small cut or whatever. It was big enough, but he had, from the blood from my eye, it was all over him. And so I'm just like, that's him. And they was not getting him at all. And he started running, and they didn't actually catch him until he turned the corner and got halfway down the block. Then they caught him, handcuffed him, and was bringing him back this way. So this whole time, his other girlfriend, and his sister is like, she tased him. And they're like, where's the taser at, man? Where's the taser? I'm like, I don't have no taser. What am I going to do with a taser? Why would I tase him? I'm afraid of him. I was just trying to get away from him. Like, I'm like really playing my role. So I don't go to jail because, of course, we all know tasers are freaking weapons. But again, I was young and dumb. So they're looking for the taser, okay? And his sister and the girlfriend is like, she put it over there tomorrow around the corner. Let me tell you how I was so scared. So this is the grass, right? Where I put the taser, where I hit the taser. They're at the grass, like right here. They're walking all around, literally all around. I'm telling you, it must have been some officers who was just really on my side, because there is no way on this green earth that they did not find that taser. Like, I'm not lying. When I tell you he was walking right over it, it wasn't even a lot of grass right there. Like, I know they seen it. They just felt bad for me. I'm telling you, I know it in my heart they had to. Anyway, so long story short, I'm gonna wrap this video up. It's getting long, but long story short, we ended up going. I ended up like, when they started like going around the taser, I have asthma, okay? So I just was like, how am I gonna get myself out of this? I purposely started hyperventilating. So I'm like, I can't breathe. Help me. I keep doing that, right? I keep doing that to get their attention off of trying to find the taser. And I'm like, I can't breathe. So then the ambulance come over, and they're trying to give me a treatment and all this other stuff. And it was just so dramatic. And long story short, they ended up not finding it. They took him to jail, had me come down to the police station. So I hurried up and called my granny for her to come and get me, come to where I was at or whatever. And so my granny got there with her boyfriend, and they wanted to inspect my car. So they was like, you need to drive. They was like, you need to drive directly behind us. Do not go out of the line of following us and go straight to the police station and drop this car off. I'm like, okay. So we get in the car, and of course I'm telling my granny what really happened. And she ended up having to call her boyfriend to go pick up the taser before they went back looking for it and found it or whatever. So he went back and got it. That was that. We get to the police station, and I'm doing the police report and everything. And then they're like, well, do you want to file charges? And my stupid self was like, no. Like, no. Like, it was my son's father. I was upset, and of course I was still in love with him, and I was just being young and dumb. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so later on that day, of course, he keeps calling and calling and calling, like, trying to be all sweet, like, I'm sorry, can you just come bail me out? Can you not press charges? Can you come bail me out? And I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And after about like 20 phone calls, then he was like, bitch, you better come bail me out. I'm not playing with you. If I go to jail, he's just completely going off. And like I said, it's funny now, but at the time, that shit was not funny, dude. And I just kept looking at my son like, dude, I'm not trying to send your dad to jail. Like, let me just stop. So overall, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. We ended up getting back together after that. I was so dumb. We ended up getting back together after that, and he broke up with old girl or whatever. And then she started threatening me, calling, playing on my phone, talking about like, I know where you live at. I'm gonna come do this and that to you. Like, girl, please knock it off. Anyway, so we stayed together. I say about a year after that, and then between that time, he was doing more stupid stuff, and it had got so he ended up doing something where I ended up like for real, like having to walk away from the relationship, like I was done. But that's my story time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video was long, so hopefully you guys got to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. I don't want you guys to think that I'm crazy, because I'm really not. Like I said, I was young and dumb, and I am not that same person anymore. I swear I'm not. So believe me, just watch my videos. You'll see who I am. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, please. Have a good night, you guys.